Alright, so in this video I'll be going over how to create a pivot table in Excel. So this is our question here. Generate a pivot table of the average floor area or floor square foot in tax districts by month. So there's three data sets we're going to need for our pivot table. First thing I'm going to do though is create a new sheet down here. Just click the new sheet. I'm going to double click to rename it. I'll just name it pivot table. And I'm going to go ahead and copy my question, put it in there, and then make sure, we'll go ahead and do that. And next I want my data. So it wants the floor area. So that's floor square foot. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, paste that in there. And in this case, there was a separate formula in there. If you just want the values, you can click on this little paste icon here and just paste the values. So that should come up with the same values there. Yeah. And I'm going to resize this and just kind of highlight all these. I used Shift Control and then an arrow key down to do that. Again, this part doesn't matter. I'm just basically making it show no decimal places here. Okay, so I got a little sidetracked there, but floor area, and we need tax districts, which is this column. So I'm going to Control C to copy that, and then Control V to paste it, and make sure it's just the values. Actually, for that one, it didn't matter. Oops. There we go. And the only other thing we need is the sale month. So we have a sale date in this column. We don't have a sale month, but we can get sale month by using an Excel function. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a column by right-clicking and clicking Insert on this next column over. I'm going to type sale month. And right now, these data values in the first column here are formatted in this date date way of formatting. So basically that just means that if I were to display it as a number, a general number, it's given a serial number of just like 42464. So I don't want to do that. I'm just going to undo that. But what that means is that I can type into this month column equals month, and then click here, and Excel will automatically interpret this data in terms of its serial number and give me the month. So this I actually need to format back into general because we just want the month number. So this 4 means it's the 4th month or April. And then I want this formula to be copied down to the rest of these guys here. So the way you can copy formulas in Excel is by using this little black square at the bottom. So you click that and you can either drag it and it'll start copying it, which is all fun and games. And then if you want it to go all the way to the bottom, remember there's like 787 of these values, so I don't want to scroll that far. I can double click this black box here and it will automatically fill the formula down all the way. So now for each sale month, it gives you, like for the second value here, the sale month is 8, which comes from the first value of the sale date. Awesome. So I'm going to highlight this column, copy it over to my pivot table sheet, and make sure it's just the values there. And so now I've got all the data I need for my pivot table. So pivot table in Excel is basically a way of displaying data. So go up to the Insert tab, click Pivot Table, select your basically your range, and you can just select these 3 columns here. And existing, basically where you want the pivot table to be placed. Existing table F2, which is the box I've highlighted here, and we're all good. So pivot tables operate based on like these fields. So the main value in this case would be floor square foot, because we're generating a pivot table of average floor area, and then you're going to delineate it by tax districts in the rows, months in the columns. So the first thing I'm going to do is click this floor square foot area, drag it into the values column. So you notice this automatically select the sum of the floor areas. We don't want the sum, we want the average or the mean. So what you do is you click this arrow here, you click into value field settings, and then you can choose from a bunch of different basically standard statistics data. So I'm going to choose the average, double click that, and awesome. So that's the first step. Now we know we want tax districts in the rows. So all I'm going to do is click and drag tax districts into the rows and sale months in the columns. And now I've created my pivot table. So what this means is that, and I'm going to label these actually real quick. The rows was tax district, and the columns was month. So basically this means that, say this first box here has the data entry was in the first month, so this was a house sold in January in the first tax district, and the average value of the floor square foot or floor area was 1755.6 square foot. So as you get into like, say this one would be a January sale month in the 18th tax district. So there might be more than one values averaged here. In fact, there will be for this one for sure. So whichever houses were sold in January in the 18th tax district, their average floor square foot area is shown in this box. So yeah, that's how you create a pivot table in Excel.